as all get out. Upset, disappointed, disgusted, want to know what can be done.
Thomas says it's the lack of awareness that's killing the industry.
When Yellow Cab went bankrupt, boom, they think all the taxis are gone.
We have no cab stand at the convention center. And sometimes we're just, they come after us. They say, you cannot park here, you can't do this.
They definitely feel raising the rates will help. In addition to creating a proposal to go before City Council, Thomas says that she's taking steps to get a grant.
What would a grant do?
Help us maintain our vehicles. Some days I don't even have money for gas. So therefore I got to stay still somewhere.
Why not switch to Lyft or Uber?
Because we were here first.
We need cabs in this city. People have been driving here for 40 plus years. And this is their livelihood. We're trying to survive.
All right, speaking of the Spurs and the Rocket La Cantera, this morning we have some new numbers that show how San Antonio won off the court during this exciting Spurs playoff run. Visit San Antonio estimates an economic impact of $36.2 million from game ticket sales and visitor spending on hotels, food, and local transportation, plus a big boom for local businesses. It also includes media exposure and from national and international TV outlets. Visit San Antonio broke down the numbers here, the estimated economic impact by round. The first two rounds, $3.5 million each. The West Finals, where we knocked off OKC, nearly $6.8 million. And the Finals, which was originally projected at 7 games, was about $22 million. The Spurs also released some interesting data on ticket buyers. They said that Spurs fans from 96 countries bought tickets this season for games, with the top countries after the United States being Mexico, Canada, Australia, France, and the UK.
Well, happy Friday, everyone. I'm Weather Authority meteorologist Leah Rodriguez. And earlier this morning, some areas out west did start their Friday with some showers and maybe a rumble of thunder or two. But it's been fairly dry in here in San Antonio. No rain, but it has been humid. And now, as we go into the afternoon hours, it looks like that cloud cover is going to hold pretty steady, and it could limit some of the showers and storm activity that we expect to see this afternoon. Once we get to about 7 o'clock, maybe we'll start to see some break in that cloud cover out west. But as we go into late Friday evening, as a cool front is going to come through here, and that's going to help spark up some more activity through the late Friday night hours into early Saturday morning. And we could see a lot of activity really stretching across the I-35 corridor. And then once we get into Saturday about 9 o'clock in the morning, looks like most of that activity will have kind of dwindled out. But there is activity that's out there. Really, these around our area are just a couple of rain showers that haven't really done much. Earlier, we had some activity way out west that had developed all morning long, and then once we finally got into late morning hours, fell apart. But we've had a few more storms and showers here that have been kind of really developing closer to kind of the Stockdale and Cuero areas. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that what this activity has done has kind of just popped like popcorn, really. Hasn't done too much as far as no severe weather for sure, but it also has maybe had a rumble of thunder or two, and overall these have just really resulted in some quick downpours that haven't really done much for us. Some of them have had some good decent outflow boundaries that have actually cooled us down just a little bit, but after all that is said and done, once that outflow boundary moved away, then you felt all the humidity come back, and it just kind of got muggy and gross again. So we'll take a look here and we'll kind of zoom in a little bit closer now. I'm not sure why that is not working for us. Let me try one more thing. Let's see. This is just good hand tracking practice so that I can get comfortable to all the very cool things that we have here at KSAT. Try this for a second time. There we go. Okay, perfect. So again, just a couple of showers out there. I'm gonna actually go ahead and put the radar in play mode for us. We'll go look over the past hour. Oops. There we go. Did it take it? There we go. Took a couple of clicks. And again, these showers, you can see the outflow boundaries kind of going away, and as soon as the outflow boundary moves away, the storm falls apart, and everything else has kind of just developed out near Cuero, Goliad, Victoria. All of that out there is kind of just sitting. It's really riding off of the sea breeze that we've seen develop for this time of the day. But again, nothing bad has happened, and we expected a little bit more shower activity closer to the San Antonio area, but we've had such thick cloud cover that never really happened. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to pause this for us. We'll go to right here, and I'm going to switch radars now to kind of talk just a little bit about what we saw earlier this morning. We'll look at the past 24-hour rainfall. And again, everything that happened this morning was out west, closer to the border. And just to talk about some of those rainfall rates, closer to Comstock, south of Devil's River, close to 2 inches out there. Around Del Rio, we had nearly an inch, and then closer to right along the river, about 2 inches as well. And if we want to look closer to kind of just on the outskirts of Brackettville, or somewhere around an inch out there. We did have another pop-up storm that popped up closer to Uvalde area, and with that, we got maybe an inch out of that rainfall. So these storms that popped up earlier this morning, they kind of just sat there. That's why, of course, we didn't really get anything closer to the metro area. We saw some good rainfall rates over there. And now, just to talk about some of these storms that have now developed closer to San Antonio, closer to the New Braunfels area, really. We'll look at their rainfall rates. And I'm going to clear it out for us so we can go over here. If you happen to have looked at the radar earlier, you have to make sure you really look at the correct radar site, because some of them, the farther you get away, the higher that radar beam goes, and it can kind of pick up more of the clouds rather than what's actually falling at the surface. So that's why the radar that we're on now is now in New Braunfels, and we can kind of see a better idea of what we had from some of those showers that popped up earlier this afternoon. That one dropped maybe about 0.4 of an inch. East of Gonzales, and then near Seguin, maybe close to an inch. But overall, again, these were more beneficial in the sense that they were actually able to bring some good outflow boundaries that felt pretty good for maybe a couple of minutes or so. But then going back to what we have on there right now, not a lot. It's all been kind of dying out, but we do have more chances to see some more development later this evening and tomorrow as well. So as we kind of go into the later evening hours, we'll see kind of a decrease for a bit. We're going to watch how the energy develops kind of again towards our hill country areas where we could see an uptick in showers through the overnight hours. Then once we get into your early Saturday morning hours, things will calm down again. before they start to increase Saturday afternoon. So it's kind of going back and forth. No rain, then a chance of rain for the next 48 hours. But the good thing is that if tomorrow is like today, that we have very strong cloud cover, it could really limit the rain coverage that we see in the afternoon. So walking you through your future cast, this is again Friday evening, the next few hours. We're looking at things to pretty much stay fairly quiet across the area. Once we get to about 9:30, 10 o'clock tonight, we can start to see some development up north across the hill country. And it's actually because we have a very weak frontal boundary that can kind of spark up some shower development across the metro area, maybe across the I-35 corridor. Some of those, again, could be strong in the sense that we could actually get a thunderstorm to develop, but we're not expecting any severe weather at all. By the early Saturday morning hours, I think they're going to kind of go their separate ways. We may see more development out towards western areas, while areas close to San Antonio and New Braunfels kind of just start to quiet down by Saturday 6 a.m. Fast forward now to Saturday afternoon. This is about the noontime, lunchtime hour. We start to see some of that development again, but I want to point this out one more time. If the cloud cover continues to stay very strong tomorrow, we may not see a lot of development. We have a little bit of stuff kind of developing by Saturday evening, but then we finally take a break. Now, what I want to point out also is that Saturday afternoon, 2 to 3 o'clock, I'd say really about 2 in the afternoon to 6 in the afternoon is a better chance to see a few more spotty showers across the metro area. So if you have those plans tomorrow, don't cancel them. Just keep an umbrella with you as you kind of go about your day, because this is just going to be a brief pop-up. Give it about 30 minutes and then it'll be gone again, like what we saw out there on the radar right now. Let's talk about Father's Day though, because many of us want our plans to hold on Father's Day, right? We want to go golfing, go bring the grill out, whatever. The good news is it looks pretty dry. We're going to have the sun come out. Temperature is supposed to peak in the mid-90s. Now keep in mind, we do have plenty of moisture out there, so we have to factor in the heat index, likely going to feel like it's in the low 100s, but we're not expecting any rainfall. Just that mugginess. More than likely, you're going to have mosquitoes around you as well on your Father's Day, so keep that bug spray close. But that's kind of looking a lot better for us. That's kind of the silver lining, is that once we're done with the rain on Saturday, we're all good. So to talk a little bit about what's going on right now as far as temperatures go, it's already 88 in San Antonio. So again, the cloud cover has been our friend today in the sense that we haven't had such high temperatures as compared to yesterday at this time. But it's 92 in Pleasanton, 90 in Eagle Pass, 90 in Beeville, and kind of those hill country areas that are just getting into the 80s right now, they really benefited from the rainfall from this morning. That's what's helped keeping them cool. Now, factor in the humidity for the heat index. It does feel like it's 106 in Cotulla. It feels like it's 93 here in San Antonio. It feels like 104 in Pleasanton. And we just got an update. It feels actually like 90 in San Antonio. So maybe just a little wind gust that came in over there. But in general, it is still pretty hot. And I just want to point out that we do have a couple of heat advisories in effect, kind of where you see the orange counties. But you already know it is warm out there. You know to take it pretty easy. Luckily, it's not quite as bad as where we were yesterday. But our high temperatures today still expected to go into the mid-90s. And then you factor in what we expect to feel like, could feel as high as 106 at the airport this afternoon, maybe almost feeling like 105 in Castroville, 109 in Pleasanton again. So still got some warmth to go through the day. We're not going to really start to see anything cooling down till probably about 6 o'clock this evening. And so we have this kind of low disturbance out kind of between Mexico and Texas. It's sending some energy, so that's why we expect to see more activity tonight. But then it will start to move kind of to our southwest. It'll send a little bit more energy again to see some of those rain showers through our area Saturday afternoon. But luckily, that's going to push off to our southwest, kind of fall apart. Then the next weather maker that we have, or I should say weather maker that we have, is going to be this big high pressure, because typically they don't cause weather, right? We get sunny skies. But that said, sunny skies equal high temperatures. So next week is going to look very, very hot and very dry because that high pressure is going to take over for us. And so, by the way, not only do we have Father's Day on Sunday, it's also the summer solstice. So We finally have the longest day of the year in the sense that we have the most daylight hours, and it's actually going to be a sunny day. So it's nice that everything kind of aligned for that. But then next week again, looking dry and sunny, and of course with the heat index likely going to feel in the low hundreds almost every day next week. But we're going to take a quick break, reset, check a couple things, and then we will come back to you one more time.